to help provide information and support for a strategy to support scaling of guided pathways reforms in California community college districts where one or more of the district's colleges are participants in the California Guided Pathways project. Columbia College would like to thank Pam Garrett-Schmidt, Marcus Wisnant, Brandon Price, and Brian Sanders for volunteering their time and efforts towards contributing to the California Guided Pathways Institute. Columbia College is also very grateful for its efforts, for the efforts of its lead from the middle team, who also did a lot of preliminary work for Guided Pathways over the last year. Mission Miller, Elizabeth Flagging, Joe Manlove, Brandon Price, and Leslie Mishtafi, thank you as well. Did I miss anyone? Okay. Columbia College Distance Education Committee is also working hard on refining its guidelines for online instructors, including the best practices for regular and substantive contact, which was a recommendation from the accreditation visit. The Academic Senate would like to acknowledge the efforts of its distance education coordinator, Melissa Colon. Melissa has been an invaluable resource to our college and to all of our online instructors. Thank you, Melissa, for all that you've done for Columbia College. Other things of note, Columbia College will be celebrating its 25th anniversary for its 1993 state championship basketball team. It's an academic matter and professional. On Saturday, November 10th, against College of Marin, we're inviting back the 1993 state championship team and all of our alumni to celebrate that. It's an achievement we're very proud of, and I think the game is going to be televised. Okay? Joey stole my thunder when he announced the volleyball win tonight, so thanks, Joey. Shalom, she stole my thunder when she announced Packard Pavilion night for our women's volleyball team, which is on October 26th against Porterville College. And I also want to take the time briefly to thank the Columbia College Foundation over the last 3.5 to 4 years, as well as Judy Lanchester and Brian Sanders, Angela Fairchild, Dr. B. But the foundation has been instrumental in helping us renovate the Oak Pavilion. You know, they raised a tremendous amount of money. The community did a great job. I remember putting together a PowerPoint presentation, God, it seems like 4 or 5 years ago with Brian, and going to the foundation with this big dream of updating the gym. You know, so it didn't look like just a recreation center. It looked like a venue we could all be proud of. I mean, graduation takes place there. Our women's volleyball team and our men's basketball team take a tremendous amount of pride. It was a way to brand the gym. Within the next couple months, the scoreboards will be done. We've completed the floor. We've completed padding around the entire gym. We've got brand new goals. There was only 6 left since 1993 in the entire United States. Only 40 have been made by Spalding. We had the last 6. Okay, so I really want to thank the foundation. I'm excited to put in those brand new scoreboards. They've got their branding on it as well. So I want to say thank you to the foundation for all those things. And I also want to say thank you to our administration for putting together a new faculty dinner tomorrow night for those of our brand new faculty that have jumped on board. And although it's a rough time, I'd like to say that it's a great place to work. I'm proud to work here. There's times that things happen that are downright embarrassing, to say the least, and I hope to God we just all keep working together and work as hard as we can for our students, because we just need to solve the problem. That's what we're here for, to solve the problem. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Now we'll move on to L10. Anybody here from L10?
No report from L10.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Okay. That doesn't mean you get extra time, Jim. I'm sorry. We'll move on to the last day report.
Hello, my name is Jim Soma. I'm the president of the Yosemite Faculty Association. Paul Bryce, a British philosopher, describes the factors that create the cooperative principle when people engage in conversations. It is comprised of 4 conversational maxims. The first is quality. That is, truthful claims or statements supported with evidence. second is quantity, or providing sufficient detail given the context of the conversation. The third is relation, which is staying on the topic being discussed. And the fourth is manner, which is using clear and direct statements to avoid ambiguity. The Yosemite Faculty Association thanks the board for the wisdom to reject the unlawful emergency resolutions that were before it, and by pulling them from tonight's agenda. This decision reflects a positive step towards such a cooperative principle among the faculty. This same principle, however, makes it imperative for YFA to explain why these unlawful emergency resolutions were so harmful and destructive to the negotiations process, and why we request that the district positively affirm tonight that it will respect faculty's lawful right to strike after fact-finding, free from district coercions. We have 3 points about these resolutions. First, the resolutions which called for the district to discipline and terminate striking faculty were illegal. We cannot emphasize this enough. Faculty have a statutorily protected right to strike after impasse. The Public Employment Relations Board, or PERB, has unequivocally affirmed this right when it says, quote, "The right to strike falls within the statutorily protected right of public sector employees to participate in union activities," end quote. And that after impasse, an employer, quote, "cannot unilaterally impose terms that waive or limit the statutory right of employees to engage in concerted activity, including the right to strike," end quote. The faculty right to strike is protected by state bargaining law and our free speech and association rights under the California and federal constitutions. YFA has filed an unfair practice charge with PERB to protect these rights. We will not tolerate any violations of this right and will remain vigilant to ensure that the district neither discriminates nor retaliates against any striking faculty, whether they are tenured, probationary, or part-time faculty. Second, the threats contained in the resolutions amounted to a confession by the district that its last offer from February 2018 of 2% per year, a loss in real wages, is not fair or reasonable enough to settle negotiations and prevent a strike. Faculty have only received 7% in total salary increases since 2010. Even with the district's offer of 2% over 3 years, faculty will have only received 1.3% per year over the last decade. This represents a significant loss in real earnings and fall for faculty to second to last in our negotiating cohort. And a fair proposal is affordable. The district has already set aside money for salaries before this year and has a multi-million-dollar surplus, twice the level above what the state requires it to have for its reserve. It has already set aside millions of dollars to cover retirement costs and the OPEB liabilities. This year and going forward, the outlook is even better. Starting this year, the district will receive an additional $8 million in funding per year, a 9% increase in unreserved funding. The district can provide a fair raise for faculty and leave additional monies available for other college priorities. And imposing 45 student class size maximum remains unacceptable for faculty and students. The attempted coercion in the resolutions to threaten to illegally fire faculty would not have been necessary if the district was to offer a fair deal. But rather than to return to the table, the resolution sought to coerce faculty into accepting the unacceptable. Finally, the resolutions amount to another confession by the district. And that confession is that if faculty strike, replacement workers will not be able to maintain district services. Because if the district were confident in its ability to effectively maintain colleges without faculty, it would not have to threaten faculty on pain of termination to provide coerced labor. It would simply weather any such strike with these phantom employees. But the district, the YFA, and the students all know this is simply a fantasy. Faculty are providing over 2,100 sections this fall between the two colleges comprised of lectures, lab, online, and hybrid offerings. Existing state law provides exacting requirements on faculty qualifications for providing credited instruction. The district cannot place unqualified instructors in classrooms, not during a strike or any other time. Nor can it try to temporarily bribe replacement workers with compensation higher than its last, best, and final offer to the YFA. Such bribes to replacement workers are unlawful. Likewise, negotiated class size remains in effect. The district cannot put hundreds of students in a gymnasium with an unqualified proctor and call it education. And even if the district could find some small number of replacement workers for some limited number of sections, to what effect? Does it really think students will learn anything when an unqualified substitute is plucked off the streets? No. It is a plan doomed to failure, and hence the district's attempt to coerce faculty on pain of termination. But threats won't work.